Alright, welcome back to Jay's Retro Toys and Games, where the past comes alive one pixel at a time. Today's journey dives deep into one of the most iconic accessories in gaming history, the NES Advantage controller. Now, this wasn't just another piece of plastic with buttons. No. It was a revolution in how players experienced video games at home. In an era when arcades ruled the gaming world and the Nintendo Entertainment System was conquering living rooms, the NES Advantage stood as a bridge between two worlds, the thrill of the arcade and the comfort of the couch. So the NES Advantage wasn't simply about playing games, it was about feeling them. And it gave players the tactile satisfaction of an arcade joystick, the precision of professional hardware, and the power to dominate their favorite titles like never before. To understand its legacy, it's important to look back at the time it was born, a time when gaming was transforming from a niche hobby into a cultural phenomenon. And we'll look at this incredible controller on the 101st episode on this February 10th, 2026. The NES Advantage, Jay's Retro Toys and Games, starts right now. Your host, Jason DiCanio, welcoming you to the 101st episode on this Thursday, February 10th. Actually, it's Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Second week of February, getting real close to Valentine's Day, and I hope you got your sweetie something very special. Whatever the case, President's Day is also coming up this following Monday as well. But we're now starting a new chapter in the video game entourage. We finished all the consoles, so now we focus on the NES accessories. We'll take a look at the Nintendo Entertainment System's accessories, each one by one in order, alphabetically. And the first one to come up is the NES Advantage. This big controller that did a lot of damage, and boy oh boy, we have the history to go with it. The mid-1980s marked a turning point in gaming history. After the video game crash of 1983, the industry was struggling to regain its footing. And then came Nintendo, a company that would not only revive gaming but redefine it. The NES launched in North America in 1985, bringing with it a wave of unforgettable titles like Super Mario Bros., Duck Hunt, The Legend of Zelda, and Metroid. And these games captured imaginations and turned living rooms into digital playgrounds. But for many players, something was missing. The NES controller, a small rectangular pad with a simple D-pad and two red buttons, was functional but limited. It worked perfectly for casual play, but for those who grew up in the golden age of arcades, it lacked the physicality and precision of the machines they loved. The click of a joystick, the satisfying press of large buttons, the sturdy feel of a cabinet. These sensations were part of what made arcade gaming so addictive. Nintendo recognized this longing and sought to bring that same experience home. To achieve it, they partnered with Seaware, a Japanese company known for creating high-quality gaming peripherals. And together they designed a controller that would capture the essence of the arcade while maintaining the accessibility of the NES. The result was the NES Advantage, released in 1987. Now, the Advantage was unlike anything players had seen before. It was large, heavy, and built to sit firmly on a tabletop. Its joystick was tall and responsive, offering the kind of control that made fast-paced games like Gradius or Mega Man feel more precise. The two oversized buttons, labeled A and B, were concave, designed to mimic the feel of arcade buttons. The controller's silver and black color scheme gave it a professional, almost industrial look, setting it apart from the bright, toy-like designs of other accessories. But the NES Advantage wasn't just about looks. It introduced features that were groundbreaking for the time. The turbo switches allowed players to adjust the rate of button presses, giving them a competitive edge in games that required rapid fire. The slow motion function, though more of a clever trick than true slow motion, rapidly paused and unpaused the game, creating the illusion of slowed gameplay. For players tackling tough titles like Contra or Ninja Gaiden, these features could mean the difference between victory and defeat. Another clever innovation was the dual controller ports. The NES Advantage could be plugged into both Player 1 and Player 2 slots, allowing players to switch between them with a simple toggle. This made it perfect for alternating play sessions or cooperative games, eliminating the need to constantly swap controllers. The NES Advantage wasn't just a tool, it was a statement. It told the world that home gaming could be serious, competitive, and immersive. It gave players the confidence to take on the toughest challenges and the feeling that they were part of something bigger, a growing community of gamers who demanded more from their hardware. As the NES continued to dominate the market, the Advantage became a symbol of dedication. It wasn't for casual players. It was for those who wanted to master their craft. And it represented the merging of two worlds, the arcade and the home console, and set the stage for the evolution of gaming accessories for decades to come. The NES Advantage didn't just bring the arcade home, it became the arcade, right there on the living room table. And for millions of players, that was the ultimate advantage. The NES Advantage's design was a masterclass in functionality and style. Every element served a purpose, from the weighty base that kept it steady during intense gameplay to the adjustable turbo dials that gave players control over their speed and precision. The joystick's metal shaft provided durability, while its smooth motion allowed for fine-tuned control, essential for platformers, shooters, and fighting games alike. The turbo feature was particularly revolutionary, and by adjusting the dials, players could set how quickly the A and B buttons would auto-fire, transforming games that required rapid tapping into smoother, more manageable experiences. The slow motion feature, while imperfect, showcased Nintendo's willingness to experiment with new ideas. It was a glimpse into the future of customizable gameplay, a concept that would later become standard in modern controllers. The NES Advantage's build quality also set it apart, and unlike many third-party accessories of the time, it was solid, reliable, and built to last. Its design philosophy reflected Nintendo's commitment to quality and innovation, ensuring that it wasn't just a novelty, but a genuine enhancement to the gaming experience. Nintendo's marketing for the NES Advantage leaned heavily into its arcade roots. Commercials showed players dominating their favorite games with newfound skill, the joystick clicking furiously as they conquered levels that once seemed impossible. The message was clear. With the NES Advantage, players weren't just playing, they were competing. Gaming magazines praised its precision and durability, calling it a must-have for serious players. It quickly became a status symbol, a sign that someone wasn't just a casual gamer, but a true enthusiast. The NES Advantage became a pop culture icon. It appeared in movies, TV shows, and even competitive gaming events. Its distinctive design made it instantly recognizable, and for many, it represented the golden age of Nintendo's dominance. Collectors today still seek out the NES Advantage, not just for nostalgia, but for its craftsmanship. It remains one of the most beloved accessories in Nintendo's history, a testament to the creativity and ambition of the late 1980s gaming scene. The NES Advantage paved the way for future arcade-style controllers across multiple consoles. Its influence can be seen in later accessories like the Super Advantage for the Super Nintendo, and in modern fight sticks used in competitive gaming today. It proved that hardware could enhance not only performance but also immersion, and that the feel of the controller mattered as much as the game itself. The NES Advantage was more than a controller. It was a revolution in design and experience, and it brought the arcade home, empowered players, and left a lasting mark on gaming history. Decades later, it remains a symbol of innovation, passion, and the golden age of Nintendo. From the arcade floor to the living room, the NES Advantage gave players exactly what its name promised: the ultimate advantage. Thanks for joining me on today's show, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for more episodes. We'll look at the next NES accessory on episode number 102, coming up this Thursday, February 12th. We'll see you then. I'm Jason DeCanio. Thank you once again, and remember always to keep on playing. Till next time, bye for now.